guys, it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing a full face using / testing new makeup. I have a mix of drugstore and a mix of high-end. It's basically all drugstore except for 2 items. We had to do a little bit of tweaking because, as you will hear me say in the video, this is my 4th time filming this. If you guys didn't know, I have a beauty Instagram. It is Beauty by Nisa. I will put a little card right here, and then I will put a link in the description box if that is something that you would be interested in. If you guys are interested to see what products I loved, what products I hated, what techniques I used, what is the diggity deal, then keep on watching. For those of you that did not know, I do post every 4 days on here. Go ahead and turn on that notification bell. Let's get into it. Frustrated isn't even the word to explain how I feel. I have filmed this video 4 times. I've done this makeup look 4 times. I've sat in front of this camera 4 times. I have charged my camera battery 4 times. I feel like I have got a really good feel for the products. The first product I will be using for the 4th time with a big smile on my face is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. I really like their Poreless Putty Primer, which is basically the original one of this. They have a hydrating one, the mattifying one, and then the poreless one. And it's so funny because now all these brands are trying to do the whole primer in a pan. I will say for this primer, I feel like it definitely does give me a matte base. I have been so used to using pore filling primers the past probably 3 months because I feel like makeup is such a cool thing because you kind of get to make your own combos and see what your skin likes and see what you like on yourself the best. For years and years and years, I would use a mattifying primer, mattifying foundation, mattifying everything. And I feel like you kind of just have to have a good mix of everything. And I feel like I was so afraid of using things that did not claim to be mattifying because my skin is so oily. I'm just really proud of myself because I feel like I've really been able to kind of step out of my own comfort zone because I am very much so a creature of habit. From now on, I really like the texture of this. It's super creamy, as you could see. I used to apply this and the poreless one with a brush, but what I like to do is kind of warm it up, put my finger in there, and then put it on my face. On the whole face would be really good, and then just using that poreless putty primer wherever you feel like your pores are bigger, which for most people I feel like is in your T-zone. This next product I'm actually very sad to talk about. You know, I used to love this product because I've literally used it on my face 4 times every time I film this, and I know it's the reason that my makeup has looked bad when I filmed it. This is the original Airspun Loose Face Powder in the color Translucent Extra Coverage. I used to love this stuff, guys, but I think at the end of the day, it's just not made for darker sisters. Honestly, it might not even be that fact. It is so super full coverage. That's not even a question at all. I look so washed out. It keeps the color, so whatever it looks like when you bake is what it's gonna look like when you wipe it off. I wore my makeup in 90-degree weather at a football game out in the elements, and I had that makeup on for 9 hours, and I'll put pictures in. I didn't touch up or anything, but you will see my under eyes look so good. And I know it's because of this. I just wish that they would make it darker because this stuff is so affordable. It just makes me sad. This will probably be in the upcoming video of products I'm getting rid of. I guess today we're just not going to set our primer, which will actually be good because I want to test this foundation without setting the primer because I've been setting the primer every time I've done my makeup for this video. I am very late to jump on the bandwagon. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation in the color Chai. I just thought it was time considering I have the powder foundation and I absolutely love the concealer. I was like, okay, girl, it's time. I do one side of my face beauty blender, one side of my face brush. I'm actually really curious to see how this works without having the primer set. And also, if the match is a little off, it's because I've tried to film this video over the span of the past probably 10 days. I've been sick, so I've been rubbing my nose, not rubbing, but blowing my nose. This is really the first foundation I will use that does not claim to be mattifying, and so far I've really liked the way that it looks. It blends out really beautifully. Some people have 2 different shades, a summer shade and a winter shade. I feel like I kind of always make it work because I have so many different powders that I can always kind of make the foundation work. It just looks so skin-like. It's really weird, but it doesn't feel heavy on the face at all. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, this is the e.l.f. sponges are the same, they just come from different collections. But as you can see, it's really skin-like. I really don't have any redness going on in my face right now. You can still kind of see my texture, which, I mean, a foundation really will never cover up texture. If you have texture, you have texture. I have a light spot right here, which you can still kind of see. I am actually going to put on another layer to see how it looks. I've just been doing one pump for each side. You can see the coverage that comes from this second layer. She is definitely full coverage. It's so weird because I just keep looking and I'm like waiting for it to kind of dry down, and it's not going to. I definitely like the way that this foundation applies with a beauty blender more so than a brush. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot more seamless. Now I'm going to do the other side, and I think I'm going to use this e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. The brush side, you do get more coverage with the first layer. The only reason they look different is because it has dried down just a tad versus this is completely new. I feel like if you were looking at me, you would not know this girl just put on 2 layers over here and 1 over here. I'm not gonna do a full pump because I don't need a full pump, I feel. I'm just gonna do a little bit more to see if we can build it with a brush. Oh, we got foundation in the hair, foundation in the hair. I don't know why I waited so long to buy this foundation. I really don't. I will definitely be using this again. First, 4th initial application, I will give this a good, I'll really give it a 10 out of 10. It looks gorgeous on the skin. I just have so much texture going on. I feel like it's kind of blinding me. Concealer, oh my gosh. If you are looking for a good, affordable drugstore concealer, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I don't even know if I've ever mentioned this on my channel. It's an oldie but a goodie. I really wonder if I ever mentioned this when I kind of first started doing makeup on this channel. I learned how to do makeup on YouTube, which I think I've shared with you guys before. I remember it was really hard, and it honestly still really is hard to find black makeup YouTubers. The only way you find a black makeup YouTuber is if you literally type in makeup routine black girl, which is so sad. The algorithm really just showed me all these girls that did not look like me. I can make a whole different video on how that impacted me in itself. It sucked because for so many years, there was such, and there still is, some brands are better about it than they used to be, only making products for lighter girls. And this was one of those products. This combination, it just dries down so beautifully. But anyways, it was really hard because literally everyone and their mom loved this concealer. And I was like, well, that really sucks because even if I did want to try it, I can't because they don't make my color. So now it makes me happy when I kind of have to go in the drugstore and look at the shades and I can't tell from the get-go which one is mine. I like how this is drying down. Do I have a new favorite? Because I always really thought Fenty would be my forever and only. I was going to use this air spun to bake, but as I have previously shared, that will not be happening. So I'm just going to take my Laura Mercier, which I have been neglecting her. I'm sorry, Laura. I have not grabbed for this in a really long time. And I don't know why, because it's really good. They just came out with a new shade of this too. After I use up my pressed powder, I want to start putting loose powder all over my face because look at how seamless this looks. I didn't even realize how many of the YouTubers that I watch now use loose powder to set their whole face. I'm not necessarily baking. I just wanted to put a little extra powder under my eyes to kind of catch any of the fallout that I have, because I have still not been one of those girls that has transitioned over to doing their eyes first, and I probably never will be, so don't get your hopes up. Next, we are going to do eyes, and for the first time in eternity, I decided to buy eye primer. So I bought 2 different ones. This is the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer, Photo Focus, and this is the e.l.f. Putty eye primer. So I'm going to do 1 and 1 just to see if there's really a difference. Let me tell you, I was one of those girls that really thought that eye primer was a hoax. I thought it was all a lie. I thought they were playing us. I thought they just kind of made something up to, you know, get our coin. Third time I filmed this video, I forgot to put eyeshadow primer on because I'm doing kind of a warm orange smoky eye. The colors were not looking the same that they did the first time I did the look. Being so in love with the eye look that I did because the orange just popped. I'm going to do one eye on camera, show you guys my eye look, and then I'm gonna use this one on camera. I'm gonna use this one off camera, tell you if I notice a difference when it comes to application, and then we'll obviously be able to see a difference. But I was so excited to pick up this primer. This is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer, and they have different colors, y'all. This is in the color Clay. I wanted to pick up 2 different eye primers. Number 1, because I wanted to try 2 different ones. And number 2, I really have not used an eye primer in a really long time. So if the eye primer didn't work, I didn't want to be like, oh, well, eye primer's stupid because the eye primer that I bought was bad. This is a little bit on the thicker side. It is very putty-like, but as you can see, it kind of just takes away all that shine, and it kind of gives a little bit of tack, but it's not tack that's gonna make you have wrinkles on your eyes when you're 50. I'm going to zoom you guys in, and then we're gonna do this eye and we will move on. We are going to be using 3 different palettes. I actually bought this e.l.f. 18 Hit Wonders palette just for this video. I've been doing a lot of color lately and I need a break. And then I also am going to use 2 different other palettes. This is the Esther Beauty Genesis palette, and I mentioned this in my Full Face Using Black owned brands. And this is just a super pretty warm neutral palette. I could honestly probably do the look that I wanted to do with just this palette, but we're extra and we are using not 2 but 3 eyeshadow palettes today. I got this eyeshadow palette in a BoxyCharm 3 months ago and I never used it, so I was like, oh my gosh, let me use this in this video. This is the Tarteist Pro palette from Tarte. Tarte, I feel like, is such a slept on brand when it comes to eyeshadow. Their eyeshadow is so good. I just kind of wanted to say I'm going to be using all 3 of these palettes, but expect to see these individually be featured in upcoming videos because I do want to do just a makeup tutorial. I haven't done a makeup tutorial on this channel yet. I feel I do a lot of testing out makeups, but if you guys want to see more makeup tutorials, that would be something I'm so down to do. I'm going to take this Morphe M441 brush, and I'm first going to go in with this Tarte palette, and I'm going to take the color Whimsy, and I'm just going to take this and place it all along my crease, in the inside and the outside, because I really want this orange to pop. And what I like about this e.l.f. eyeshadow primer is that I can feel that it is working to pick up the eyeshadow, but it's not like I'm having to drag. Why I put this eyeshadow in the crease so far was because I thought I was going to do a cut crease, but I really liked the way that it turned out when I did it, the way that I'm about to show you. And I'm making sure to blend it out and then drag it to make it more of a cat eye instead of more rounded. Now I'm going to take Candy from this Esther palette and just put that over top because it is a little bit more bright orange. I'm going to actually take, this is a new brush that I just bought from Five Below. This is just a Chic Pro eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take the color Smoked from this Tarte palette, and I'm just going to place that right in my outer crease, like right there. The Tarte eyeshadows do have a little bit of fallout in the pan versus I have noticed this Esther Essentials. I can swirl my brush around in there and I won't see any fallout, but I feel like a lot of that just has to do with how hard the powders are pressed. I'm not going to drag this dark color out into here because I really want it to be super smoky right where I place that color, so I'm just going to slightly blend it. And this is a little trick, if you want a little bit more dimension, even when you're doing just a regular everyday eyeshadow look, do the color that you would usually do in your crease and then put a color that's a little bit darker than it right in that crease area, and it just adds a whole new dimension to your eye. Then I'm just going to go back in with Whimsy and go right over the outer edge of that. I'm gonna take a little bit of Candy, just going over that again. We are going to use the palette that I actually intended to be used for this look. I'm going to take the 18 Hit Wonders palette. I'm going to actually use my finger, and I'm going to take Penny, and I'm going to place that from here over. Really pack on shadow with your finger, which is one of the best things you can use, especially when it comes to shimmers, because you're not losing any of that pigment. It's literally getting stamped straight onto your lid. I'm making sure to kind of just leave it right on that outer edge. I'm going to take Whimsy and just a dab of Smoked, and I'm just going to blend the glitter shade in with the outside of my crease, just like that. I like how some shimmers look when they're kind of gradiated up into the smoky eye, so I'm just going to take this and go like that. I'm going to do the other eye really fast off camera, and then we will do brows. So I finished this other eye. I'm going to go ahead and just finish off the lower lash line. I'm just going to take this Morphe M508 brush, and I'm going to go into Candy from the Esther's palette because I really want my lower lash line to just pop. I will take the brush that I used to wipe my bake off. Before I even do that, I just want you guys to notice that I literally had no fallout at all, not even from the shimmer. And I make sure when I get over here to connect my top and bottom. I'm actually going to take Quartz from this 18 Hit Wonders palette, and I'm just going to pop that in my, just the tiniest bit on my lower lash line to kind of connect everything. This penny color right here, so gorgeous. It's what I used on the lid. Quartz is what I used on the inner corner. I really love the formula of these shimmers. I'm really curious and excited to use the mattes in this palette. The Esther Beauty Essentials palette, as you can see, I did get it sent to me broken, but that's all right. I this is really the only color that I used for this look. But look at these shimmers in this top shade, top row. They look, oh, and there she goes. It was fun while it lasted, but anyways. Tarte palette never disappoints. This one actually, so all these on the sides are shimmers and all these in here are mattes. Next is brows, and today I'm going to be using the Brow Ultra Slim from Maybelline. This is in the color Black Brown, and I really don't remember what I thought about this. It is a little gray, but the formula is really smooth and easy to work with. As far as formula goes, it was super creamy, it was easy to apply. I didn't feel like I was dragging my eyebrows and the skin underneath them. It is a little bit, and you guys may not even be able to tell, it's the taddest bit of like too gray. I like the formula, maybe just in a different color. Time to wipe off the bake or whatever is left from the bake. I went ahead and picked up this Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour, and this is in the color C18. I'm gonna go ahead and take this e.l.f. contouring brush. I think this is dried down and it's not gonna move. I was so excited to try this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the color 40 all over my face, but guys, it is like way too gray. I kind of made two separate trips. I actually already had a Bare Minerals foundation, but it was too light. I went ahead and picked up this one, Medium Dark 23. This is Neutral Tan 21. I'm going to go ahead and take the darker one using sponges from Walgreens. I feel like not enough people talk about Bare Minerals get put on. Their tinted moisturizer, which I don't even think I've ever mentioned on my channel. The powder fixed the harshness of the contour, but it's still there. That kind of leads us into our next step, which I'm so super excited to share with you guys. This is the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. And when I tell you guys, I was so excited when I saw this. I was so excited when I saw this. So you can actually see that they've all been used. And I've said this before, I really don't buy complexion or face palettes because I feel like half the time, if I were to buy one, I would only use 3 of the shades in it. And these shades have a lot of fallout, like a lot. Look, I just don't want it to be too harsh. Nose highlight would be, ooh. Does have fallout, but that is gorgeous. Okay, it's not super glittery, it's just pure highlight. The Black Radiance Artesian Color Baked Blush, and this is in Warm Berry. Look at how beautiful. If you ever feel like you use too much blush, just go ahead and use the sponge that has all your foundation and whatever in it, and just go over it and it'll simmer it down. Before we do anything else, I'm quickly going to set the face using this new NYX Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh 8-hour multitasking spray. Oh my gosh, look. I feel like that was a really long spritz. And I always go in with my sponge and really just, especially on my forehead and right underneath my contour, just to kind of make sure everything blends. I'm going to quickly just go in with this NYX Worth the Hype mascara because I think I forgot to buy a new mascara and I've only used this once. I like that I have eyelash extensions because I still get to test out mascara, but I feel like you can really tell if a mascara is good. If it works on your baby lashes, it's good. We're using 3 new products today. First, I'm going to go in with this NYX Professional Suede Matte Lip Liner. This is in the color Mason. I prefer gel lip liners over pencil lip liners because they don't drag and they don't create that tug and they don't pull on your lips. You guys saw how seamlessly that went on my lips. I'm going to use this L'Oreal. I'm pretty sure this is just a matte liquid lipstick. This is in the color I Explore because it doesn't say anything except for L'Oreal on it. I like that it has that little pointy tip, that way you can really get around. I'm gonna let this dry down and I wanna do another layer because it is pretty sheen. As far as this liquid lipstick, I really like the formula. It's super comfortable on the lips. I liked how thin it was. If you could see, it's super thin, but I think in consequence of that, it was a little bit sheen, so it lost a little bit of its pigment. To get this color, I had to do 3 layers. Once it dries down, I'm going to use this NYX Butter Gloss in the color Bit of Honey. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I am absolutely obsessed with pretty much everything in this haul. The only things that really kind of disappointed me were the Airspun and this powder right here. Love this foundation. This combination right here, magical. If there is a specific makeup tutorial you guys would like to see, please let me know down in the description box. If there is a specific full face you would like to see, it doesn't have to be just a brand because I feel like that's what I was really doing in the beginning. I want to thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers. Oh my gosh, I thought we would never ever get off of the 390s. When we do get to 500, there will be a very special video that I have been promised to do with somebody, and there will be a giveaway. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye.